Hi, welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. Decided to get back to my Skyline Beauty series. Done a lot of these. They've been very popular, sold a bunch of them, and lots of prints. And I was looking through them. I like to do a bunch of different creative ones in one place. And even though there's a number of them on in my portfolio, I don't have any of California. I was real surprised. So this one is going to be San Diego, and I'll probably do a number of different versions of this one. And in these paintings, I like to just have the skyline, but then just really experiment with the paint and get something exciting to go with the exciting skyline. And I always have something in mind, and then it always changes, and I never know what's going to happen. This time I thought I'd use a lot of paint and a large brush, a lot of water, and just really let the paint fly. And what I want to happen, which may or may not happen, is that the paint will bleed and make washes, flat washes. As I said, the three techniques of watercolors, even though I'm using acrylics, I'm using it as a watercolor, are the flat wash, the wet and wet, and dry brush. I need to use more water because it's certainly not bleeding at all. And in this one, I really want the paint to just move around. And it's not moving much, so I need to add more water. It's not my medium, so in a way that's kind of nice because then I really, there, now it's going, really experiment, don't know what's going to happen, more than I would with oil paint, which is my main medium. Real pleased with my latest one of the Lodge of the Peaks of Otter. And now I'm trying to decide on a floral, and I've been having a real hard time. Oh, that's good. That's what I want to happen. Look, it's like there's a sun showing up. Oh, look at that. Didn't mean for that. It looks like there's sun right there. But I'm having a hard time deciding whether I want to do another wildflower one, which I really, really love to do, or if I want to do a cultivated garden. I like this. That's what I wanted to. I wanted to get some flat washes too. That's what we call a flat wash, where it is the same throughout. Wanted to combine those two together, although I may regret that if this comes to be a really interesting effect in this sort of sky. Wouldn't really call it a sky. It's a very abstract painting, but I'm sticking just a little bit to that. I did want to use essentially the colors you see in a sky. You don't usually see a lot of green, although there actually is some green, and I wanted to really just stick with that and let it go into the buildings and whatever happens. And so far, I think it's kind of interesting. I'm going to try to mix some red with the yellow and get a different effect. Always really like doing these. It's really fun to really work in an abstract manner, but I have something there too. So there's something to reference at the same time that the paint is just really a star. Paint is what it's really all about. Oh, I like that. Didn't mean to get that. Like I said, I'm just really wanting things to happen. There's kind of a little bit of green there that, like I said, you don't see a lot of green in the sky, but yeah, this is an abstract painting, so no problem. Okay, getting some interesting things. I was also thinking I might go back into this one off camera, or I might just use my hair dryer. Oh yeah, hair dryer to dry it and then get to the next stage. As I said all the time, I don't like these to be real long. I like them to be snappy, get through them, and not belabor them. Because as I said, I'm really just trying to let things happen and be really very experimental. I have a lot of different ones in my portfolio. I have to say though, the ones I really like the best are of Dallas. So if you go into my website, you will really check out those because I'm real proud of those. Okay, I wasn't expecting to use that much green, but I kind of like it. really want to get some purple. I don't use a lot of purple in these, but I have a hard time getting the purple to work real well with this acrylic paint. I don't know why, but it tends to get kind of dull. There, that's not dull. And see, because it's very strongly outlined in black, I don't have to worry about losing the San Diego skyline. Now, I was thinking of dripping all the way down in the water area. I think I'll still do that, but I'm not going to worry about like having reflection or anything. I just want to have a very creative use of the paint. I haven't been going very long, so I don't know, maybe I will dry it and try something. What I was thinking of doing, something I never do with water media, and like I say, it's not my medium, so I have this bias that it ain't gonna work. But I have tried it before in the past, and it doesn't really work. But I was thinking, you know, these are very experimental paintings, so I might just do that. And that's to go into areas that have bled and try to get them to bleed some more. And what's going to happen, or at least always happened in the past, is I'm going to get some real hard edges. I'm trying to find a good one. Yeah, right there. See, very, very hard edges. And it's going to kind of mess up the bleeding. And it all depends on how much of that wet and wet, the bleeding technique you want. So, I don't know. I might do that, might not. Oh, I kind of like that, having the kind of like light coming in from one side, even though I'm very abstract. Okay, I don't know. It's always a real, these are really fun, but harder than some other types of paintings to decide when to quit. Because you get certain things, certain really glowing, beautiful things with the wet and wet, letting very wet paint bleed into the paper, that you're going to lose if you go back over it. And then you say, oh wait, well, can't get that back. So it's really a big problem. And right now, already, I really have some things I really like. It's probably kind of dry in some places because I've used it so thin that it's probably fairly dry. But I really hesitate to do a whole lot more. I don't know. This might be a real short one because I don't want to get into something that is going to be so different and lose what I've got. Always a big problem with any kind of painting. That is, as I've said before, that's the biggest gripe all artists have, is you start off with something, you get something kind of nice, and then you do something else, and uh-oh, you lost what you had. I remember a professor, I think I mentioned this before, one professor said he called it TOTE, test, operate, test, exit. And it's quite a journey. And it doesn't matter if it's a very representational work, because there's design, and it's still a process, and still things happen when you're making something representational, the way things look. It's still test, operate, test, exit, because it is a painting. It is not ever the thing itself. It's an arrangement by the artist, as I've said over and over again. And I don't know, I think I might just stop here and then take a while to really think about if I want to do what I said I wanted to do, which is bleed back into bleeded areas, which is going to create some edges, but the edges might be really interesting. So, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to click on the link to see the final painting. It might just be this one, but the colors will be better because I can never get it right with my camera or on YouTube. And it might be extremely different. And there's also my work on Etsy and Wix and other sites.